All right, people, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another one. This time around, we have Jordan Brown all the way from Bali, actually, right? That was your last trip?
Bali.
This guy's been jet setting around the world. Where are you going next, buddy?
Probably Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
You go from Bali to Fort Lauderdale?
Just like that.
Just like that.
Quick pit stop, Florida, maybe.
All right, we got to get him ready for Florida then. So today, if you look at Jordan, he actually has hockey hair. He doesn't like it. We got to turn him into a supermodel. And how we're going to do that is by just reducing a lot of this length. To be honest, guys, I genuinely like what he currently has, but I think the issue is that there's way too much weight through the sides and in the back, which is something he mentioned. But he did say that he likes the nape. He wants to keep that kind of flow, that textured nape at the back. He doesn't want something super harsh like a line. He wants something more natural. The real goal here and the main thing that we're going to have to focus on is reducing a lot of this weight through the back. So the focal point is going to be texture and just reducing the weight. Okay, and how we're going to do that is we're going to start from the back through a layer, and we're going to do the same through the sides, and we might actually taper the sideburns a little bit as well, just to apply a bit more contrast. But what I do really like, and I might not necessarily cut as much, is the fringe. The fringe is actually sitting quite nice. We might maybe just texture some of those lengths, but the main focal point and the issues right now are the back and the sides, and that's the first thing we're going to tackle. So let's get to it. Whoa, hold up, pause right there. I know you're into this tutorial and you've probably been taking notes, studying the sectioning, watching the fade placement, but let me ask you something. If you've already watched these tutorials and you've been watching my content and trying to level up, why not just go all in? I've built something for barbers just like you. It's called the Essentials Program. It's a private community packed with weekly coaching calls, advanced tutorials, support from elite barbers, and constant accountability. And get this, it's $80 a month. That's one haircut, 2 at most. You probably spent more last week on Uber Eats anyways. This is for barbers who are done with staying stuck, who want to improve their fades, their sectioning, their scissor work, their styling, and even how to post content to book clients. And I'm going to keep it real. If it doesn't blow your mind, you tell me. I'll send you that $80 back. No catch. But if you're serious about becoming the go-to name in your city, then you belong in there. Click the link in the description, join the Essentials program, and I'll see you on the inside. Now, let's get back to the cut. Okay guys, so now the main focus here is kind of similar to how we typically do it. We're just creating different panels, right? So we have our side panel, our back panel, and now our top panel. And again, the main thing here is you guys gotta be patient. A lot of the times I see a lot of people rush this, but look at this process alone. This process might take you 5 to 10 minutes even, but that 5 to 10 minutes is gonna save you so much time, because if you clip this right and you have structure in your panels, then when you start cutting, everything is gonna just work a lot cleaner. Okay, a lot of the times I see people rush this, they get disappointed, then they start cutting, and then what tends to happen is you sometimes cut areas of the hair you're not supposed to. So this is why I like to spend more time with the section, because when I start cutting, it's a system. And when I have a system in my head, I'm actually pretty quick with it. Okay, making sure we have 2 clips, especially because he's got really, really thick hair. There we go, beautiful. Look how clean that is, okay? We'll take another clip and now we'll separate the sides as well. Okay, now we're gonna do the back. Okay guys, because the nape is the longest point right now, if we look at it, it looks way too much like a mullet. He still wants that flare at the bottom, but the problem is this is way too long. And if we look at the lengths from the top to the bottom, it's not really making sense because this is too short compared to the back. Now, if the hair was a lot longer, this would make sense, but right now we still have to reduce some of that length through the bottom, but we're gonna keep that weight, which is what's gonna allow it to flare up. And this last section, we're just slightly over directing it, keeping some of that corner. And there we have it. Okay, just gonna clean up some of the middle point. There we go. Okay, move on to the same side, same process, nothing changes. Okay, look at this, guys, guidelines in here. Beautiful. Now we'll go back down the profile from the middle point. And the reason why is because we want to be able to control the vertical shape a lot more than the horizontal. That'll be the most important part. And that choice of length is going to be the focal point. Okay, so if I pinch this, I grab it. Okay, these lengths are actually quite good, but they're missing some texture. And what we really need to do is make sure that we're reducing some of that length through the occipital. So I'm going to work with a bit more elevation. And this is how we're just going to go ahead and cut it square. Okay guys, so what have we done so far? We're on our third section, and now something is changing. Okay, both sections are actually quite tight because we are going to taper it, but now I got to be careful because I really love how the nape is sitting. Look how beautiful that is. The texture is there. It's exactly where we need it to be. But now if I keep cutting too short, what's going to end up happening is we're going to have lengths that are way too short here and quite long in here, and we're not going to have that visual connection. So at this point, I actually have to start working with some over direction. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and we got maybe 2 more sections left. All right, so we're actually gonna do something a little bit different. For Jordan, I don't want him to wear it one way. I don't want him to just wear it as a middle part. I actually want him to still be able to play with it. So instead of cutting it as a middle part and just keeping it way too heavy, we're gonna layer it. Okay, layering it is still gonna allow him to wear it as a middle part because we're gonna go with a triangular shape, meaning that we're gonna keep some more length in the front because he's gonna probably like to style it this way as well. But if I go ahead and only cut it as a middle part, it's only gonna be able to sit as a middle part. So we wanna be able to have versatility, and how we're gonna be able to do this is by removing some of the weight through the back. Because look at the difference in length from here to here, guys. Big difference, okay? Let's get to it. And look at this, as we come towards the back, I'm just taking all the sections from the middle point or from the front, and I'm bringing them back. And the reason for this is because I still want to keep and maintain some of the lengths, because if I cut it too short, then he won't be necessarily able to wear it as a middle part. So by dragging it back, we're having a very harsh, almost triangular shape, which allows him to still have that length that he wants, where he still has that versatility, okay? Okay, so guys, he specifically mentioned not a high taper. We don't want a high taper. This is very much a natural look, but I still want to taper it, and especially because his hair is quite fine. If I take the zero line too high, cha-ching, ba-bang, bye-bye, game over. He's gonna start crying, and all the girls will stop running after him. So we're gonna keep this quite low. We want to bring out the contrast, and it'll be like we're gonna play with the number 1 and 1.5. But again, we don't want to take this too high, especially because I'm loving everything overall. We just got to make sure that we have a beautiful contrast with the density of his hair. All right, 3 done. 2. Look at this. You see, it's already showing 2.5. Very much a visual fade. Now we'll go with the 1.5 to stretch it out even more. Hey guys, so this is my final look on Jordan. Genuinely guys, very happy with it. A little different, very natural, okay? Very easy for him to manage. Wet look, super textured look, but we've we've just brought the haircut in. We don't see the weight from the sides anymore. We've kept the nape, but look how much more texture we have. Okay, we've also kept a bit of that corner. We have that middle part that's still sitting beautifully, but if he wanted to brush it back, he still could do it with a beautiful taper. Again, very low taper, very natural taper rather than something too high. And again, this is gonna be super easy for him to style. He's gonna put a bit of cream on, put a bit of hairspray, and this will literally look like this all day. Okay, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something from it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.